well, welcome to Rev'd Up Ramble. This is Reggie, and
I'm Matt. We sometimes will debate which generation had better cars and why not make a video out of it. So Reggie's got the 80s, I have the beloved 90s, and we picked a couple cars and we'll kind of go head to head, see which one you think is better between the 80s and 90s.
We're going to kind of go tit for tat with this one. So instead of just going down the line, I think we'll go, maybe one person will go and the other person will go. So
age before beauty.
All right. So the first one that I came up with, it was, I think, is an iconic classic, the DeLorean.
Okay. Yeah, that's not where I was going with this list at all.
So, of course, what is it that everybody thinks of when they hear the DeLorean?
Oh, Back to the Future, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Classic, though. So everybody thinks about Back to the Future, the gold wing doors, hitting 95, 85 miles an hour.
85 miles an hour. Yeah. Great.
It's just a really super cool car. Like, I think they made like 6 of the DeLoreans just for the movie, but even aside from that, it's just a really cool car. That's the kind of car that if somebody's got it in the parking lot, you're gonna go up and look.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't care who you are, even if you're not a car person.
Well, it's like the car persons and also like the people like me who are car people and also like kind of a nerd. Like, I'm gonna go look at a DeLorean. I'm gonna look for the flux capacitor. Like, I'm gonna try to see what else it has. No, that's pretty good though. Because so I'm not exactly in any order because you went with car movie. The first car movie I think of, at least for me, being a '90s kid, is Fast and the Furious. And what car was iconic from the '90s in Fast and the Furious? A Mark IV Supra. Like, that was the 2JZ. Just, again, I didn't do as much research as you, but that is the iconic, like, to me, 90s like car in general. Like,
and of course, I can say that was stolen from the 1JZ. Yeah, Supra
made it better. Made it better. You're gonna find that very common in this video. All right, so I loved the Mark IV Supra, especially in the movie. I didn't know what a Supra was. I didn't know what a 2JZ was. When Jesse popped the hood and was talking about it, 5-year-old Matt, no idea. Straight over my head. Yeah, no idea what was going on.
High school one.
Yeah,
that came out.
80s versus 90s, pal.
That's true.
The next one on my list though was the Acura NSX, but the Type R, because they came out with the NSX in the late 80s, but they didn't come out with the Type R until 100% in the 90s. And the Type R of it basically got a little bit of a power increase. It's a Honda Accord engine that was behind it, but it was also mid-engine. So
it's true.
The NSX in general was such a fantastic car.
Anytime I see an NSX, I get like Ferrari vibes.
Yeah.
If you just see it flying past, it gives you that very Euro, very exotic kind of look, at least to me.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why it's such a classic car. Because anytime you see an NSX, you got to go look at it.
It was also another car from Fast and Furious 4, by the way, just FYI. At the end of the movie where they broke Vin Diesel out. I told you on the first video, I'm a Fast and Furious nerd. It was there. It was painted all black. Such a beautiful car.
I gotta go back and look at that. But yeah, it's the NSX was super cool. It's just, like you said, just an iconic car. But mid-engine, 3-liter Accord engine.
Just 100% Accord engine.
Super clean though. Definitely can't knock that one. It's a pretty good choice. Don't think it stands next to mine though. The Lamborghini Countach.
You and your supercars, man.
Super clean. Predecessor to the Diablo. Just bad to the bone. The scissor doors. Just super crazy fast. That is definitely an iconic car. If you can find a clean Virgin Countach now, it's still crazy money.
Oh, 100%.
Crazy money.
What's funny is the first, because we've mentioned 2 movies so far, so my brain's still on movie talk. When I think about that car, I think of Wolf on Wall Street when he's falling out of it. But that's the car I think of. It's it's part of the scene. It might be part of the clip. I don't know if I can do that or not. But it was that's the 100% copyright. But no, that's the first thing I think of because I didn't grow up with Lamborghinis. I lived in rural Georgia. Yeah. So
I could probably tell you how many times I've seen a Lambo, especially a Countach, in person, maybe on one hand. I'd probably at a car show. But yeah, super clean.
You want to tell them the next one? It's not Countach level, but it is the DSM triplets.
Ooh.
Specifically like the Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Again, I guess another Fast and Furious movie or Fast and Furious car, but the DSM triplets were like in general awesome. People tend to forget because I don't remember all three of them. I know there's like the Eagle Talon,
Yep.
the Mitsubishi Eclipse, and then the other one.
Yeah. I can't even think of the name of the brand. Gosh, it wasn't Eagle.
No, because the Eagle made the Talon.
I can't think of the name of it. Somebody's gonna have to hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, let us know down below what the third one was. It's
We're
the
gonna
triplets
Google it.
because right now I only know the twins.
Yeah, we're gonna have to Google it. I can literally remember racing on the not proud of it, on the streets back in the day.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And I mean, I had my 2001 Eclipse, which was just not even close to the true DSM. And it was a guy with a GSX Eclipse that was next to me. The whole car literally went sideways off the line. I mean, the torque on those things was just incredible. That 4G63 turbo was a monster. My next one, again, supercar, the Ferrari Testarossa.
Okay, yeah, you love your supercars, man.
Which I'm gonna have
too broke for them.
to couple with the Ferrari F40.
Yeah, God, dude.
I mean, these were just some nasty cars for back in the day. Of course, they were in red.
The way a good Ferrari should be.
I agree. But I mean, just ridiculous engineering for the time. I mean, these cars were just screaming down the road. But they were iconic cars for the 80s. I mean, if you were watching a movie and somebody had they were rich, they probably had one of those two cars.
Since you keep going supercars, this one's not necessarily a supercar. I don't know how to say the name of the brand. That's how poor I am. RUF, Rough Roof. The Rough Roof RUF, the CTR2, the 500 horsepower one, the one that came, was basically just attacking Le Mans. Came with 500 horsepower, twin turbo, based off of Porsche 911. Just an absolute one beautiful car, because I think it had like a wide body kit on it, or it was like slightly wider wheels. They upgraded the engine and all. I wanted to put a Porsche on the list, but what's better than RUF, Roof, Rough? It's just so... The Porsche 911 GT2 was going to be on the list, but I replaced it with this one because it's based off of a GT2. They just made more power, putting on another turbo on it. So it was just a beautiful
don't worry.
car.
I've got my German car too later.
Yeah, well.
Of course. All right, so here's one that everybody I bet you was probably waiting for. The Buick Grand National.
Yeah, that's where I knew I was going to lose some of this. Kendrick Lamar just also released a new album, the Grand National, basically. Yeah, no, I knew this was coming. Well,
I mean, they made essentially another car too, is the GTX, which looked just like the Grand National. I mean, just a monster
without the turbos, right?
A monster.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it wasn't without the turbo or just rebadged.
I can't remember.
But either way, I mean, and ironically, that was also on Fast and Furious
4, to be specific, with the NSX.
Yep.
Yeah, such a nerd. I know. He's nerd about car stuff. I'm nerd about car stuff that has to do with the Fast and Furious franchise.
It's true. Which, I mean, they put it in there for a good reason.
Oh, it's a great car. I mean,
but it looks mean.
If we go off of Fast and Furious cars, we're tied. Just so you know, it's even with.
Well, one thing I will say is, anytime you think about a Buick Grand National, what color do you think of?
Black.
Every time.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like a Ferrari with red. It's like that's the only way it should come.
Listen, if you didn't bring up the Cyclone as well, I don't know if you thought about the Cyclone.
I didn't think about the Cyclone, but it's another.
The Cyclone is also like a really good one from that era. Speaking of, I didn't mention that one because I gave you one. I'm going to give myself one. The Ford Lightning.
Oh yeah.
The SVT Lightning. I didn't think about it, but what I did think about SVT was my 1999 SVT Cobra.
Oh yeah.
I could not get the Terminator. I'm 3 years short from getting the Terminator. I was so mad. There was going to be a whole Dale Earnhardt Jr. segue right here.
Oh my god.
Can't do it right now because I don't have the Terminator Mustang. But I do still have an SVT Cobra. It's just I went to the newest version, 1999, because that's the only one I could do.
That's true.
But
that is one of my favorite body styles.
Oh, I know you love it. That's the reason why I wanted the Terminator so bad, because I was like, that would swing you if I could get the Terminator. But no, I have the previous SVT, which is still great. I mean, it's like 400 horsepower. It's still like a really great car, especially in 1999.
Oh yeah.
So
got another one for you. Here's my Euro car.
Okay.
BMW, the E30 specifically. So the M3 of the 80s.
Okay.
Super solid.
Oh, so I'm just gonna put an M3 on mine.
But I mean, it's just boxy.
Oh yeah, I know. And then mine gets more sleek. Basically,
Like
it's a little
old
boxy.
school
But,
boxy M3 E30.
oh, it's the one everybody wants now.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's
BBSs.
that, yeah.
I mean, super clean. And it was more importantly introduced in '86, which just so happens to be the very year I was born.
Lucky.
Makes it even better.
Yeah.
It makes it even better.
Well, weren't you lucky with getting that one? Because for real though, that car though, everybody wants. That's what everybody wants. It's kind of become like a. I've seen them rally racing. I've seen them drag racing. Not as much drag racing, but I have seen it. And then like motocross, they're big in motocross, and then started getting into drifting.
Yep.
Like I've started seeing them drifting.
Yep.
But which is crazy to me. I don't understand drifting such a nice car that's like super rare because like they're gonna crash.
That's true.
That's kind of the only downside to drifting is they're gonna hit something.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's going off a beaten path a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
This one's got a special place in my heart. This isn't necessarily for what the car's known for in the 90s. It's what the car is known for today.
Yeah.
EG hatchback.
Oh yeah.
Like, so the 90s, like Honda Civic hatchback, because people just Google it. EG hatch, turbo, EG hatch, K20, EG hatch, anything. You're going to see probably either a D, or not a D series, an H series, a K series. They're going to have a turbo on it. It's going to have fat tires up front. It's going to be blowing Mustangs, Corvettes, GTRs, and it's a little Honda. Lambos even.
Probably weighs as little as this couch.
Yeah, it probably less. This couch is a little heavy.
Yeah.
I helped you move it.
They are clean.
I didn't. But
they are clean.
It's just, and even they look timeless. Like they still kind of, like to me, they look really, really good. Like I had an EK Civic. I wish I had an EG, which is the one like I think it ended in like 94, 95. I could be wrong.
Well, the cool thing about the old school Civics is they just had the old school, like iconic Civic, like torques. Like they had the, you know, when you started it up, it had the, I mean, just the iconic sounds. I mean, they had the old school VTEC where, I mean, it was just that grunt at the end when you really finally got it all, you know, pegged out in RBMs. I mean, it was just, that's the old school iconic Civic. That's that era of Civic where it really made Honda was that 90s era. Definitely can't go down with you on that one. That was I can't lie.
Like I said, it's a weird choice, especially when we're talking about like Ferraris and Lambos and whatever else I got still left on my list, which I got a couple more. But the Civic hatchback, maybe it's just because I'm a Civic homie, or homer, but I had to put at least an EG on there.
Okay. I've got a different one as well. This one's definitely off the beaten path. An Audi Quattro.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful. I have a Hot Wheels of that car on my desk. It's red. It's a rally version of the Quattro. It's beautiful.
So check this out. So Audi was doing the all-wheel drive sports car. Girl, what are you doing? The all-wheel drive sports car before Porsche was doing the all-wheel drive sports car. And this was mid-engine, all-wheel drive. So couple that with the power that it had for the time, just the engineering. I mean, the look was, you know, 80s.
I mean, it's 80s. It's very boxy and stuff.
Looks like a Lego set. But
I think that's how they built cars in the 80s, weren't
they? but it was cool. Now the only flaw to that car was, I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, as I was doing a little bit of research, it was nowhere near safe. Like the mid-engine design, coupled with the all-wheel drive, the power. I don't know if it was that or what it was, but it was a very, very unsafe car. Like the fatality rate on that car was just abysmal. I don't know if it was as bad as a Ford Pinto, but
that's getting up there, dude. If you're gonna bring a Ford Pinto
either way,
into it.
I mean, it was on the track, super cool. Otherwise, probably not. But still a notable mention.
Oh, 100%. Which is why I get to also notably mention the C4 when I'm really going to talk about the C5 Corvette.
Oh my gosh.
Like, they're both over in the 90s. You also can claim the C4. I'll give you that one. But the C5 Corvette was just so beautiful. LS6 engine, 400 horsepower from the factory. People still take the LS6 engines today when they're on LS, like Fast and Furious movies. They're on LS87. But the LS6 was such an awesome engine. And I'm not a big Chevy fan in general, but there's something about a Corvette, man.
Yeah, Corvettes are clean.
Something about, especially like, because you can get a C5 right now for like relatively like inexpensive.
Yeah.
And it's making stupid horsepower. You know, the previous owner, as long as you didn't get one that somebody like me already has, the previous owner who has it's probably 80. So like it hasn't gone above 45. So like they're drift missiles or drag missiles. They are fantastic.
Why is it that every time you see somebody in the Corvette, they're always at least in retirement age.
I should have worn my the dad shoes I have. I can't remember the name of
The
it.
classic New Balances?
Oh yeah, the New Balances I got. Yeah, or no, they're
Or
the Nike Monarchs. They're
Yeah.
Nike Monarchs. I should have worn my Monarchs when I thought about
Yeah,
this.
with the khaki shorts that he has
Don't worry, you got some scissors, right? We can cut them up.
every time.
Oh, 100 or jean shorts. I'll have jean shorts on.
Okay, the
They,
jorts.
yeah, they got a poster about yay tall sitting in front of the car, saying like it's 1 of 1 or 1 of 50, even though it's a base model C5 Corvette because
Oh
it's
my
red
gosh.
with tan interior. But
So number 10, or actually number 8.
yeah,
for
number
me.
8.
So this was one that I've seen maybe a handful of times in person, but I didn't realize the historical significance behind this one. Of course, we all love German engineering.
Yeah.
Unless it's something we got to pay for.
Or work on.
Exactly. But the Porsche 959, very unique car. This had some wide hips. I'm talking about
I like them like that.
I mean, the way that thing was designed this was not the most attractive car, y'all. And if you're not familiar, go look it up. This was nowhere near as sleek and sexy a design as a 911 by anybody's means. But this thing was killing it on the track. I'm talking about, this is one of the fastest production cars you can buy in the 80s. I'm talking about like 3.6 to 60. I mean, it was just nasty.
In the 80s,
in the 80s.
That's nuts today.
Yeah.
3.5 seconds basically to
Sure.
0 to 60. Like
Sure.
that's still nuts.
That is, I mean, for anybody, any car that you can just literally buy and you can just put on the road and just fly like that, I mean, that's saying something. I
Yeah.
mean, people are still trying to get their cars to be able to get to those numbers now.
Couldn't imagine my Civic going that fast.
Or mine.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just, to me, I just think that's really cool. I mean, cars of the 80s. What are some of your favorite cars from the 80s and 90s? I mean, which one
I
do
got
you
one
think-
more. Don't give up on me yet.
Okay.
You tried.
Okay.
You knew what was coming. I haven't said the 3 little letters yet.
Oh,
You knew
gosh.
what was coming because there's 3 of them, and I'll let you pick your favorite: R32, R33, and the R34 GTR.
Now,
Originally with this, we were only going to do our birth year. He wanted to do the whole generation. I was like, fine. I will gladly also accept the 32 and the 34 into my generation.
that's fine.
And boy, oh boy, play the cutscene. I don't have one made, but they are some of the best cars, at least for the millennial age and even for yours as well.
True.
We talked about in a previous video how you surprised you didn't say a GTR for the $100,000 challenge.
That's true.
Like it's such an iconic car.
It'll be in the next video.
Thank you for Fast and the Furious. Thank you to Reggie for hanging out with me. Thank you, you guys, for saying that 90s are better.
Oh
But
my gosh, you stop it. They haven't decided yet. I hope they haven't.
let us know down below which one you think is better, the 80s or the 90s. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace.